Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a story for you here today titled Wife Thought Her Affair Was Going Unnoticed, but I Was Preparing to Put Her in Her Place. So this is a woman who is out here, she's for the streets, she's cheating on her husband with some dude, okay? Except the problem is that her husband knows about it. So what is he doing? He's preparing to divorce her ass, I would assume, which is the right course of action to take. So without further ado, let's jump into this story here. Now, before we jump into today's story, I just wanted to remind you guys that I have set up a second channel, which will be linked in the pinned comment, where I will be covering daily or thereabouts videos of women who are ranting over on TikTok. A lot of you guys have been asking me where have those videos gone, and I've taken a break from making them on the main channel simply because they're so headache inducing. So for the time being, they will be over on the second channel, which will be linked in the video description. Make sure you go and check it out if you are interested. It says, I'm 34 and my wife is 31. We have been together for 8 years, so nearly a decade, married for 5. To anyone looking in from the outside, we looked like a great couple. We had a house, no kids yet, but we had stable careers. Behind closed doors, something shifted and I noticed. It started small, he says. Less eye contact, more late nights at work, quotations at work. Her phone never left her side, and when it buzzed, she'd angle it away. I'd ask how her day was, and she'd give vague, distracted answers, like she wasn't even there. She was emotionally detached. Bedroom fun went from occasional to non-existent. I wasn't just being paranoid, her affection had vanished. But instead of accusing her or begging for connection, I went quiet and observant about the whole thing. Okay, so this woman is displaying all of the red flags, you know, doing the late nights at work and so on, completely and utterly hiding the phone, refusing to elaborate where she is, and then also, you know, she's completely cold to the guy, and on top of that, there was no bedroom intimacy whatsoever. Okay, so absolutely ridiculous. Let's continue. I didn't blow up, he says. I didn't do any confrontation. I played dumb. Meanwhile, I started taking notes, literally. I paid attention to what time she left and came home. I noticed patterns. Every Thursday night was wine night with the girls, and yet she'd come home smelling like cologne, not whatever the hell, however the hell you pronounce that wine. So I set up a system, he said. GPS tracker in the car, a cheap voice-activated recorder in our bedroom when I was out, and a separate bank account to start quietly moving my money. I wasn't going to stream, I was going to sever clean and fast. So what did this guy do? He noticed the patterns, right? And he took all of the notes. And like, guys, these women must think that dudes are stupid. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, because this woman is coming home smelling like cologne, expecting not to be kicked the hell out. Wine night with the girls. I mean, this is just straight up like, especially, I doubt that these people, by the way, when she says wine night with the girls, number one, there's dudes there. But number two, I guarantee you this is not some sort of like house event where they get together. Okay, these people are probably hitting the town, probably very, you know, it's just very unwise to have a woman who has wine nights with the girls, especially if they go out. Ridiculous, man. So he says, the first time I listened to the recordings, it hit me in the gut. She was on the phone with someone named Eli with a flirty voice talking about time they'd spent together, not even subtle about it. One recording had her laughing and saying, don't worry, he has no idea, he's too busy being boring, and that one stung more than the rest. The GPS showed her going to a high-end apartment every Thursday, not the wine bar, she said. I even took a few photos when she walked in and out, just for my own records. I had everything I needed, and now I had a plan. Okay, so this guy, he's got the recordings, right? He understands where the hell she's going. He has the evidence and everything. I mean, this is straight up, you were immediately in divorce territory anyway, but this guy's taking the extra necessary precautions, I assume, to try and do what he can to protect himself in court, if it ever got that far, okay? Because a lot of these women, guys, even if they're cheating on the guy, even if they're the one who's crazy, being psychos, so on, a lot of them will still try and steal the dude's money. Okay, so on the one hand, they'll be committing infidelity, and on the other hand, oftentimes they still try and rob the guy afterwards. This is why these dudes, I assume at least in these stories and things, is they try and collect all the evidence they can. So at least maybe they have some line of defense. And also because, you know, whenever the relationship ends, by the way, you know, society and all the friend groups typically blame the dude unless you have evidence that is contrary. Okay, so it's like kind of like you as the dude, you're guilty until proven innocent of being a piece of crap because she said so, even though she was the one who cheated on you, for example. He said, for 3 weeks, I acted like nothing had changed. I took her out to dinner. I bought flowers, even listened to her talk about how tired she was, quote unquote. It was all fake, but I needed her to stay blind. In the meantime, I saw a lawyer. I transferred funds. I canceled joint subscriptions. I made a separate phone plan. I quietly, this guy even changed the will, man. Quietly changed the will, updated his life insurance, and pulled my name off of any shared credit. I was positioning absolutely everything. Okay, so updates the life. He does everything correct, man. And it's sad that this even needs to be done in the first place. You know, like the fact that this guy has to go through all of this nonsense, like just to get out on the other side financially unscathed when he shouldn't even be damaged financially in the first place. Am I the only one who thinks that this is absolutely ridiculous that men have to go through all this bullcrap if they don't want to just be completely slammed in court? You know? Like, why are the women receiving funds anyway, guys? Like, when the relationship terminates, why is it that the obligations that the man has to the woman, right, are enforced? Like, why is it that men are forced to have these obligations? Okay, women aren't forced to have any sort of obligations whatsoever. Typically, the women don't continue to cook for you. You know, there's no continued intimacy. They don't clean the house for you because it's what you've become accustomed to. That's not enforced in court, guys. But hey, you guys are no longer together. You have to pay her money. You have to pay her spousal support and all this crap. It's disgusting, man. It really is. And it goes to show why men don't want to get married in the first place. Then came the weekend trip. She told me she was going on a weekend trip, quote unquote, with the girls to unwind. I told her, you deserve it, babe. Have fun. She smiled, kissed me on the cheek, and then she left. What she didn't know was I knew exactly which Airbnb she and Eli were staying at. So I drove 3 hours, parked 2 blocks away, and waited. I didn't confront them. I didn't even knock. I took photos of them leaving together, holding hands and laughing, her wearing a jacket I bought for her for our anniversary. That is disgusting. And then I drove home and I got everything ready. She came home a Sunday night like nothing happened, gave me a fake smile and said, do you miss me? I said, sit down, we need to talk, and she froze. I laid everything out on the table. Photos, recordings, GPS data, and she went pale. Said nothing for a full minute, and then she tried to cry. Like, what is this, man? She tried to cry. I didn't yell. I told her this was over. The divorce papers were already filed, and the locks would be changed by morning. She begged, swore it didn't mean anything, and she said she was confused. So I told her, you thought that I didn't know, but I knew, and I spent the last month preparing to put you in your place, he says. Holy hell, this guy is not happy, man. Rightfully so, by the way. Lays it all out. And it's like, at this point, why do you even try and defend yourself as the woman? You know, they always pull this crap of like the tears and the crying and the begging and swearing doesn't mean anything, trying to minimize what they did at the end of the day. I just don't understand this, you know? Like there's the guy catches you red-handed in 37 different ways, and we still deny. Right? We still pull this nonsense. It's just insane. Now she lives with regret and I live free. The divorce went clean, he says. She got nothing from my business. I kept the house. She moved in with Eli, and I heard they broke up only 2 months later. Funny how that works. Yeah, funny how that works, isn't it? She tried messaging me once, just hi, and I deleted it without opening it. See, this is closer to the correct response that I expect from these guys. You know, they receive a message. This guy just deletes it. Me personally, I would prefer if these men blocked these women, but this is a close second. He says, my life now is peaceful. I hit the gym again. I started my own consulting firm, and I got my confidence back. She lost a good man because she wanted to play games, and I didn't react emotionally. I responded with power, he says. So I think this guy played it correctly, to be honest with you. I really do. I don't think there's any need to keep speaking to the woman. I don't even think that you need to have a conversation with her. I think these women should just be served with the divorce papers. You block their number, don't speak to them ever again, and that's a wrap from there. But guys, we are going to be calling today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Your thoughts and comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.